everyone. First of all, I'd like to say Happy New Year. It's 2018 already. I can't even believe it. Um, and I wanted to make this video because I don't even recall if I've ever actually talked about my feelings surrounding my decision to have a hysterectomy. Um, I believe I briefly mentioned certain things in like surgery update videos, but I don't know if I've ever actually sat down and discussed why I decided to have a hysterectomy and my feelings post-op. And my feelings now, I'll be, I guess, 2 years post-op on April 4th. So about 3 months from now, I'll be 2 years post-op from the hysterectomy. First of all, I guess I'll start with back when I was a kid, when I first learned what my body was going to be doing when puberty arrived. Um, I knew that that was not something I was comfortable with. And then when puberty arrived and menstruation started, um, I started Googling immediately how to get rid of it. Um, and I learned some destructive ways to stop it. And I also came across what a hysterectomy was. So I think the first time I heard the word hysterectomy, I was 11. One of my friends was talking about their mom who had to have surgery for various reasons, and I thought to myself, well, that's what I'll do when I turn 18. When I become an adult, I'll just have that. I'll have a hysterectomy. Um, and in my Googling, I also came across a hysterectomy. I learned what it was and, you know, knew in that moment that that was something that was important. This was before I even heard the words. Um, I had heard of trans things before that, actually. I think I was around 10 the first time I heard the word transgender, but I didn't associate that with myself yet at that age. I didn't fully accept that that was who I was, but before I accepted that I was trans, I came to the conclusion that a hysterectomy was in my future. Um, I wasn't happy with the way my body was working. I wasn't. Um, I've never wanted children. I've been saying since I was about 4 or 5 years old. My mother tells everybody this, that I've been saying since I was 4 or 5 that I never want children. Um, and funny enough, I'm 21 now, and I'm starting to think about children and the you know implications of that, um, and not in the sense of like, oh, I definitely want kids, but in the sense of like, if I ended up being with somebody who already had a child, or if I was with somebody who did want kids, I'm open to the possibility now. Um, I'm not in a relationship right now, and that's not a realistic thing that's happening anytime soon. But I'm open to the possibility of being a father one day, which is a lot for me, considering my entire life I've said I have no desire to be a parent. Um, but I like kids now. I never liked children, even as a child. And so that decision to have a hysterectomy, the fact that I would be sterile and not able to conceive children in any way, shape, or form, or have um, any way of having any kind of offspring that is related to me biologically, that was not an issue. Um, but funny enough, a few months before my hysterectomy, like the date was set, I started having dreams that I had a kid. I started having dreams of children that looked like me. Um, and I would wake up and I just remember feeling very sad, um, because it really, really occurred to me in that moment that is never going to happen. Um, it's not going to happen by accident. I cannot impregnate anybody by accident. It's not going to happen on purpose. Like it's not going to happen. I can't have kids. And I think that was just my subconscious mind kind of making me realize the weight of this decision to have a hysterectomy. And I don't by any means regret having a hysterectomy, it was absolutely the right thing to do for me. If you watched my videos, if you've been keeping up with me, you know I was having trouble with bleeding. Still, I was over 2 years on testosterone and had not stopped bleeding um, consistently. I was bleeding probably heavier, I think, than I was pre-T, and regularly. There was no point where it stopped. So it needed to happen. I was so done with menstruating, it needed to go away. Um, so the hysterectomy has always been in my uh, future. And funny enough, I was 19 when I had it done. I was 18 when I had top surgery, and a part of me is still sad that I didn't have it done when I was 18 because like I just think of my childhood self telling myself I'm gonna have it done when I'm 18, and for some reason it makes me sad that it took a year longer. Um, and I just kind of like took a moment before surgery to just like really reflect on that and like thank my childhood self for doing all that research and for really sticking to this and knowing that this was right for me and just like it's happening now. Like you waited long enough, it's happening now, this is real. It was a very emotional thing for me, um, because I learned about a hysterectomy years before I learned about top surgery or testosterone. It just so happened that those things happened first, but the hysterectomy has always been the number one thing. Now, top surgery and T ended up taking precedent over those things when I learned about being trans and all of these other things. But at the end of the day, when I had that hysterectomy, I really realized the weight of how much that part of my body had over me. It was such a weight lifted off my shoulders when it was gone. Um, and that's just my story. That's my journey. That's, not to push this decision on anybody else. I have tons of friends who have no interest in hysterectomy, and that is totally cool for them. But this was something that was so important to me that I kind of forgot about because of other things going on in my transition, that it wasn't until I had a hysterectomy date that I realized, and after surgery, that I realized how meaningful that moment was for me to have that done. Um, and I just wanted to share that because this was a very emotional thing for me. It wasn't just let's discard this organ. It was like let's do this thing that I really needed to have done for such a long time and really waited for. And then it finally happened. And it was just a moment of accepting that and, you know, coming to terms with that. So I think that's all I'm going to say. Will be, I really want to make more videos this year. I've got lots going on with like phalloplasty prep and different things like that. So I'll definitely be making like physical update videos. I think I'm 4 years on T in a month. I, you know, there's a few different things physically wise I would like to make videos about, but I definitely want to make some more discussion videos about my thoughts on certain things, emotionally transitioning, my thoughts on being, stealth at this point in my transition, and all of these different emotional kind of topics that don't necessarily have to do specifically with physical transition updates. If you have anything you want me to talk about, any questions, anything like that, please let me know because I'd love to make some more videos this year. I know I was lacking in content last year, but I'd really like to start kind of making this channel um, something that I can do again. So thank you for watching. As always, questions, comments, anything, leave them down below or message me. Yeah, see ya.